Our very own Orkhan Amashov is with us live again from Azerbaijan's Shusha to walk us through the key outcomes of the second day of the Shusha Global Media Forum. Orkhan, good evening. Now, what were the main themes and standout moments and outcomes of the day two in the Shusha Global Media Forum?
Hello, good evening, Tilak. As day two of the third Shusha Global Media Forum is drawing to an end, the participants are already preparing for day three, which is going to be incredibly eventful with three panel discussions in the pipeline waiting, and everybody here that I've spoken to earlier have been discussing the major themes of those very panels. Of course, artificial intelligence, its impact on journalism, the question to what extent we are actually manipulated by the manipulator which we have created ourselves, the question of proper use, media ethics, and many other elements have been discussed today. Today was an opening day. We heard from Mr. Hikmet Hacıyev earlier, and I spoke to you about that particular message of his made first thing in the morning. And then, of course, there was the first panel where our colleague Ubishab Panda was one of the panelists. And then the second part of the day, the 140 participants from 52 countries and local journalists as well. They visited Agdam and they visited different places, including Imarat Complex, the railway bus station, and also the many other places, including villages. Fundamentally, when you connect media literacy with the location of this global media forum, you would understand one underlying factor which has been reiterated today. During that period, spanning from 2020 to 2023, when a certain part of Karabakh was still under separatist control, Azerbaijan itself faced media manipulation, fake news, as President Ilham Aliyev mentioned yesterday and his assistant reiterated today. And therefore, it seems to make a great deal of sense to host this media forum in a place the past of which is associated with these manipulative attacks against Azerbaijan, and also, of course, artificial intelligence. It's dual use, its use which would favor professional media standards, and its use would go against the grain of media principles, are to be taken into account as part of the self-same scope. And I think that was clearly mentioned by many analysts and many experts today. Just allow me to mention, we got, as I mentioned earlier, about 140 participants from 42 countries, and they are media professionals, they are journalists, they are anchors, they are media executives, and also some of them are actually entrepreneurs. Some of them are thought leaders, they are bloggers. And the discussions that we have had today, in particular during the first half of the day, were largely dominated by one key sensibility. It's possible to disagree about a number of things when it comes to modern media, but there's one fundamental thing that everybody seems to agree, and that is unwavering and apparently long-term impact to artificial intelligence, because as I mentioned earlier today, it's a first platform, technological platform, which is capable of thinking. Artificial intelligence does not have soul, it's not capable of being heard, it does not have feelings, but it has intelligence. And that is created by us, but that intelligence is now in such a state that our own intelligence is no longer impervious to it. But the fundamental instinct here is that instead of being reactionary, I think that some of the linchpins, precepts of progress must be maintained. But tomorrow we will have three more panel discussions. My colleague Kate Wilson will be moderator in one of them, and I'll be back with my reflections, and we'll have an opportunity to converse later, Tilak.
Okay, Orkhan, thank you so much for the roundup, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.